Hey there, Steve Gamache here. Welcome to another episode of Chef Knives to Go Quick Look Product Reviews. And what we have this time is the Kohetsu HAP40 Nakiri 165mm knife. So this line of knives uses a three-layer construction. So the hard core cutting-edge steel is what's known as HAP40 semi-stainless steel. This is treated to a very high hardness, about 65, and does have a fair amount of toughness for that given hardness. However, this is thin at the edge, so it does require some judicious use and, just paying attention to what you're doing, because it is thin and it is high hardness. But this steel has just really renowned edge retention that just blows people's minds. So they kind of coined voodoo steel in the Chef Knives to Go household for this steel. But anyway, over the top edge retention, yet it is reasonable to sharpen with good quality aggressive stones. And the way this is made, it's got soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel. In practice, this cladding often will get a bit of a stain or patina to it. So it kind of reacts almost like semi-stainless cladding. So don't be surprised if you get a little bit of staining on the cladding, as well as, of course, the core steel. You can always clean that off if you want to do that, if it bothers you, but it can happen. So the weight and dimensions on these can vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 171 grams or 6.0 ounces. And the edge length, kind of usable length to the tip here, is about 165 millimeters, 6.5 inches. Overall length, about 12.5 inches for the whole knife with this handle. And this knife is, I've reviewed this knife before, but they started putting these handles on them, so we'll talk about the handle in a minute. But spine thickness, these are fairly thin, so I got about 2.3-ish or so at the back, and then about 2.1 halfway down, and it pretty much just kind of holds that to the end of the blade. And then blade height, I got about 48 at the back and about 47 in the middle, so it's fairly similar height across. What they're doing with these is putting nicer handles on them now. So this is an octagonal gray pack of wood and black pack of wood. Very, very nicely finished, super smooth all the way around. Got a good tight glue up or seal into where it goes into the handle. And just really, really nice. They're heavier than the previous handles, but just nicely finished. They've got a good kind of a sheen to them. Looks like they might have some moisture resistance to them. I don't know. I haven't tested that yet, but just really pretty handles all the way around, and nice complement to these. So that does bring the balance point back because, again, they're heavier than before. So with these handles, there's your balance point, which is pretty much just right about in front of that choil. So it's going to be a little handle heavy with these particular handles. They're a little bit denser and a little bit longer, but very, very nicely done. So out of the box edge on these is solid 6, maybe 7 out of 10. They're very, very sharp out of the box. They have nice fit and finish. Let's get our beauty shot here. So what they've got is a machine finish on them, and on the right side of the blade as you'd be holding them, they've got an embossed, kind of stamped in kanji, and then some vertical finish marks. You can see the cladding line in the core steel right there. Pretty easy to kind of pick that up right there. The left side of the blade is kind of plain. Again, you can pick up that cladding line right there. So they've done a nice job with fit and finish. They've taken a little bit off the corners of the spine. They've taken a little bit off, nicely done on the choil into the neck here, so it's very comfortable. Got a nice spot for your finger for a pinch grip. Talked about the balance already. What else? Fairly stiff for the thickness, so yeah, it's quite a stiff blade. I think that's probably it on that part. Let's go ahead and look at the cutting board. So here's the edge profile on this one. You can see it's pretty flat. So you've got a little bit of belly towards the front. It's not a completely round front, but you got a little belly there. So, it'll do a little bit of rocking if you want to do that. And then obviously it's pretty flat. So it's not completely flat. That's normally not the world's greatest attribute for a Nakiri, but you can see it's fairly flat. So this will be an awesome, awesome chopper and just kind of a good versatile profile for this type of knife. So it's a really nice package. These perform really well. They're thin. I guess I didn't show you the choil shot yet. So they're thin at the edge. Again, the steel is great. It holds a fantastic edge. Get some good stones. It's reasonable to sharpen beyond what you might expect for the edge retention that you get, and just a really nice package. These would be beasts for prep in a pro environment. You get a ton of prep done with less touching up of the edge than a lot of steels. So just a really cool package. So this is the Kohetsu HAP40 Wa handled or Japanese handled Nakiri 165mm knife.